21-year-old Kyle Bassinga was found hung by a tree. And it has sparked so much reactions, right? A lot of people are beginning to know so many things about Black Americans, and this hurts so bad because he was just 21 years. 21 years old. This is somebody's son, not could be somebody's son. I mean somebody's son who was in school. And then what investigations could say is that there was no, foul play suspected, meaning that this boy hung himself on a tree. How? Anyways, I'd like you to watch those videos and I'll be back with the commentaries. Please watch those videos. This is really sad. I'm coming.
A 21-year-old black man found lynched in a tree, Marietta, Georgia, round the corner from me. No news, no media on this matter. Another gesture to remind us, to them, we don't matter. I have a son the same age, so this speaks to my spirit. I can't hide from the pain it brings me to wake up and hear it. Don't know if this is a play to try to gather us up in rage, or if it's really time to shut up and show up in similar ways. Maybe it's good they see this kind of shit happen to their kind. Maybe the sight of strange white fruit across the country will open their eyes. Maybe the system set this up. But still, it's fuck your kind, because y'all refuse to do a thing, even when it's you that dies. May every mother melanated be protected from the horror of finding out her black son child was hung up moving forward. May every branch break that senses the weight of noose and blackness. May that very tree fall upon the monsters making it happen. May justice and great vengeance come to those that prey on blackness. May spirit haunt and torment all your thoughts, dreams, and actions. May the ancestors and their ancestors now be called, awakened, and summoned to war with us. Keep us untouched as this evil system plummets. May we find courage now to speak, to fight, and even to die, to eradicate the wicked cancer that has plagued this earth. White lives. It is so, and so it is. Ashe.
Another young black man has been found hanging from a tree, this time in Marietta, Georgia. His name is Kyle Bassinga, and mainstream media is not covering it. And local law enforcement is calling it a suicide. Come on, y'all. We know that we do not kill ourselves by hanging ourselves from trees. Lynchings have never stopped. It is the year 2026, and they are still killing us. So here's what I want to say. First of all, I am boosting the signal on this because it is important that we know what is going on and that we are still being targeted. But also what I want to say is that you all get some protection. And if you go somewhere alone, if at all possible, let someone know where you're going. This is, again, cold-blooded murder. And the people who are doing this, they are the descendants of cold-blooded murderers. They have no soul, they have no conscience. And this is intentional. This is domestic terrorism, pure and simple. And we have to begin being proactive. Share this with college students in your life. Get some kind of protection. And if it is a pew-pew, get the right licensing in your local area to carry it and get training if you need it. But carry some kind of protection. This is absolutely, I don't even have the words for it. I'm infuriated. I'm grieving for the family. This is another Black life snuffed out because of hate, pure and simple. And this is horrific during any time, but particularly during Black History Month. And local law enforcement across this country is complicit, automatically deeming this a suicide. But we know that there are racists and white nationalists and white supremacists all throughout law enforcement. This is why I don't watch any type of entertainment media dealing with police, framing them as heroes. Black Americans, we know that law enforcement is not our friends. They do not protect and serve our community. In fact, they are a source of much danger. All of us, I do myself, everybody needs to carry some form of protection. And then if you go somewhere alone, before you leave, let someone know where you are going and what you will be doing. I'm not alone when I say that I am beyond, there are no words to articulate the depth of how frustrated and infuriated and sorrowful I am. Black American blood still continues to soak the ground of this damn country. And like many of you all, I'm sick of it. Spread the word about Cal Bassinga, but more importantly, let's start being more vigilant and much more proactive. Because again, this is very intentional, and we are surrounded by soulless, evil folk. Be careful out here, y'all.
Daquan Trey Johnson was riding his bicycle in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They were pursuing him while he was on a bicycle. Then they sent their German Shepherd to attack him. And then 2 officers stood behind him while he was face down on the ground and shot him. Kyle Bassinga was found in Marietta, Georgia, hanging from a tree. You know what folks in the Black community do not do? Even if they're self-unaliving? They do not hang themselves from trees. They do not hang themselves from trees. I want Renee Good and Alex Peretti outrage. I want to hear white people talking about Daquan Johnson and Kyle Bassinga with as much outrage as Renee Good and Alex Peretti. I want white people to have as much outrage for these young Black men as we all had for Renee Good and Alex Peretti, and say their names. Daquan Trey Johnson and Kyle Bassinga, they were murdered. And I want white creators with big platforms talking about it right fucking now.
Black men don't hang themselves from trees. Ever, anywhere. That's not a thing that happens. Kyle Bassinga, 21 years old, in Georgia, found hanging from a tree. And within like an hour of them finding him, they ruled it a suicide. I hate these stupid games we have to play with the words we can say here, but they ruled it that he did that to himself. No autopsy, no proof, no evidence, no discovery, no investigation, just, oh, well, for sure he did that himself. Move on. There are several reasons why, but just from a historical context, Black men do not hang themselves from trees in public. We are in an absolute free fall. I got no words, man. I've got nothing. Take care of yourself. Take a break. I gotta take a break. I'm gonna take a break. We are simply not meant to ingest this much ugliness at such a constant clip.
Kyle Bassinga was a 21-year-old black man, and he was found hanging from a tree in Marietta, Georgia this week. Have you heard of this? Probably not, unless you heard about it on TikTok, because only one local news outlet covered it. He was a missing person. Nobody talked about it. And then he was found hanging from a tree. In the meantime, an 84-year-old white woman in Arizona is on the news constantly. I hope they find her. No hate towards Nancy Guthrie. But a young black man was found lynched in Marietta, Georgia. And no one is talking about it. Please share videos that you see so other people can also know what happened to Kyle. Kyle Bassinga, dead at 21, found hanging from a tree in Marietta, Georgia.
I keep trying to stitch creators because it's really not my voice, but I'm going to lend my voice to it. But I've been trying to stitch black creators all day, and I can't because it won't let me. It keeps crashing. I try to stitch myself, and I can. Try to stitch another creator, and I can. But I tried to stitch a black creator, and TikTok keeps crashing. Shock of all shocks. But I've been reposting them and commenting on them, and because a black man was hanged in my town, in Marietta, Georgia. His name was Kyle Bassinga, 21 years old, whole life ahead of him, found hanging from a tree. And the police are going to try to say that it was a self-unaliving, which is bullshit. Because for those of you that don't know, those of you that are my particular color that don't know, black people do not hang themselves. They have the lowest rate of self-unaliving of any other race. And if they're going to, they're not going to do it that way. That is just not done. It is not done at all. You can Google strange fruit, and that'll tell you a lot. And I want to know why all the headlines I keep saying, talking about how he was found in a southern tree. I mean, what the fuck, people? So please look him up, Kyle Bassinga. I'm going to tag him below. Please go find, please help share it, because it's just not being talked about enough. And it needs to be talked about more, because we're going to see more and more of this. Okay, I got to go. Love and meet it. Bye.
Sitting here getting my fat bitch on. This is 21-year-old Kyle Bassinga. He was a student at Georgia State in Atlanta. He went missing on Valentine's Day, February 14th. 4 days later, Kyle was found hanging in a tree in Fair Oaks Park in Marietta. That's 30 miles away. Now, there is a witness that said they saw him enter the park. And that's it. It seems like we keep saying this and saying this. Black men do not hang themselves from trees. Black men do not hang themselves from trees. And of course, the police are saying, oh, there's nothing suspicious. If you look up his name, you will also find a very disturbing video that he took with his encounter with a police officer who was just hassling him for walking while black. And it's like, what happened? The other thing that's really odd is he couldn't have been there for very long, because apparently where he was in that tree is right on a very well-traveled footpath. So where was he for 4 days? He wasn't in that tree. Come on, Georgia. This is not a suicide. This needs to be investigated. Something happened to this young man, and now he's not with us anymore. Black men do not hang themselves from trees. They just don't.
We need to talk about Kyle Bassinga. And Kyle was a 21-year-old man from Atlanta, Georgia, who was reported missing last week. And days later, he was found deceased, reportedly hanging from a tree in a wooded area at a park in Cobb County, Georgia, about an hour away from me. And his family has confirmed that it was him. And police say the investigation is ongoing, and they have not publicly confirmed foul play yet. And the medical examiner's final report also hasn't been released. And there's a lot about this news story that doesn't quite sit right with me. But here's the part that really gets me. If it weren't for TikTok, I never would have heard his name, right? I live in roughly the same area, and there was no breaking news alert, no major headlines anywhere. I didn't even know that this young man was missing, despite me seeing missing persons reports for all other kinds of people regularly. And His family said that he struggled with mental health issues, and I'm not going to make any definitive statements until more details come out, but I do want to use my small platform just to say his name, to say Kyle Bassinga's name, and to remind people that stories like this, they deserve attention, like in transparency and answers, regardless of what those answers are. Because what the hell? What the hell?
They are actively hunting black and brown people in the street. Just 45 minutes from my fucking house.
Blunt Combos, Lua here with you real quick. This young man, his name is Kyle, and we're gonna say Kyle B, just because I don't want to mispronounce his last name. Guess where he was found? Hanging in a tree in Georgia. So this is my question to everybody who did all this groundbreaking, unknown, super technological sleuth digging, figuring out when Miss Guthrie went missing. I'm waiting to see what you guys do to figure out how he wound up in that tree. Besides just saying it seemed like there was no foul play involved. Can we get all those super crazy analysts that know everything, that can see if you breathe from 33 degrees from 5 miles away 10 years ago with new blood samples that we've never known that you can detect from when dinosaurs were born? Can we figure out what happened to Kyle? Blood Combos.
There's something I know about black people, especially black Americans. Black Americans are one of those races that have gone through so much, repeatedly gone through a lot. Jim Crow, slavery, they've gone through segregation, they've gone through redlining and lots more. At that time, so many people were not unaliving themselves. They were not taking their lives themselves. Now that things are beginning to look up and they begin to find them in so many places, so many cities in America, and all they could say is foul play, black people don't harm themselves. They don't harm themselves. I've done several videos here. I've not seen people who, despite everything they go through, despite police brutality, despite the racism and all, they still find a way to commune with themselves. They still find a way to enjoy their lives. They still find a way to laugh. Seriously, I used to say this sometimes. I'm like, how do they even laugh? But they're always happy. And then you tell me that they unalive themselves? They didn't unalive themselves when they couldn't even feed. How do you explain that a 21-year-old student unalived himself? How? What are the evidences? And to say that this is not even going as viral as it should is really crazy. It's whites that are even talking about it the most. It's really crazy. It means that Jim Crow era is really alive and still happening in some places. Honestly, I felt so bad, and I pray that the soul of Kylie Bassinga rest in peace, and God should help the family, with the fortitude to actually bear this irreparable loss, because this is really, 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 really serious. This is a serious loss. Anyways, I'd like to stop here. Do not forget, it's your sister, your friend, your cousin, BJ on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Please stay safe. Please, I love you all. Stay safe.